Andres de Doble A Sports, back with more news regarding the Mexico national team and their future games in the fall as they prepare for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It was already announced that Mexico will play versus Colombia in the fall on October 11th, and now Mexico's second October game has been announced and made official. And to be honest, this might be the game I am most excited for. And I say this because both the rival they will play and the venue are very good for the national team and Mexican football as a whole. On Tuesday, October 14th, the Mexico national team will play against Ecuador in Guadalajara. This will be their second of two games during the October international break and will be the second of back-to-back games versus South American teams. The last time these two teams played against each other was in the Copa America, which ended in a 0-0 draw that saw Mexico get eliminated in the group stage of the tournament and unable to win despite having more shots and the majority of ball possession in that game. One of the big criticisms was the lack of adjustments, roster changes, and the midfield struggling on both sides of the ball. And to make it worse, Edson Alvarez, our starting defensive midfielder, was injured and unable to play in that game versus Ecuador. That just made everything even worse for Mexico in the Copa America. The 2024 Copa America fracaso, just like Mexico's record versus Colombia, is a reason why fans will probably feel nervous about this game. But for me and most Mexico fans so far, this is also exactly why I like this scheduled game for Mexico. The Mexico national team that we saw play against Ecuador in the Copa America was arguably the worst version of Mexico, especially in the midfield. Like, dude, we were starting players like Tronco Rodriguez and Luis Romo, and Uriel Antuna was on the team, and he was arguably the most inconsistent player on the team. The Mexico national team now, as we have seen in their success in the CONCACAF Nations League and the CONCACAF Gold Cup, looks much better. The midfield finally looks better and more promising with Marcel Ruiz and Gilberto Mora. Raúl Jiménez's return to good form has been incredible to watch. The defense has played very well, and they are now being led by a head coach who is willing to adjust and, when needed, is not afraid to make changes in Javier Aguirre. I like this matchup because this will be a true measuring gauge for the Mexico national team. This game, just like their game versus Colombia, will show how much the team has improved and where they stand in comparison. A good result will be both redemption and a step in the right direction as the team builds up for 2026. What makes this scheduled match even better is that the game will be played in Estadio Akron in Guadalajara. Finally, Mexico is playing a game in its own true home territory. Mexico has been holding so many of its home games in the United States, especially over the last few years, to where the Federation has been heavily criticized for ignoring fans in Mexico. And this criticism, especially from fans in Mexico, is valid. Since the summer of 2023, the only games that have been held in Mexico were two Nations League quarterfinal games versus Honduras, the hybrid game versus Valencia, and the game versus the United States during this same time in October last year. Fans in Mexico have not gotten the opportunity to see a big game against a team like Ecuador in a stadium in their country. And while Mexico's home stadium, Estadio Azteca, is being renovated for the FIFA World Cup, many fans have still been arguing for these bigger games to be held in Mexico in some way. Whether it's Estadio Nemesio Díaz, Estadio BBVA in Monterrey, or in uno de los otros estadios, one of the other stadiums that's part of the Liga MX, where the team will be put to the test in their home country with the pressure of playing in front of a true home crowd in Mexico. Well, finally, this request by the fans, this desire for more national team games to be played in Mexico has been heard. And the federation has announced that this game will be held in Mexico, in Estadio Akron, in Guadalajara. Mexico fans should absolutely be excited for this game. And I have no doubt that fans in Jalisco will attend the game in big numbers and sell out the stadium, creating a difficult atmosphere for Ecuador to play in. In terms of giving the Mexican Football Federation a grade for their management here, it is 100% an A grade. Mexico will finally have a genuine home game in Mexico against a quality opponent. It is a game against an opponent that will elevate the level of the team, unlike the infamous Partidos Moleros of the past. I am happy and excited to see the Mexico National Team and the Mexican Football Federation organize a game like this in Mexico. This is something the FMF, the Mexican Football Federation, should be doing more, and there are rumors that they will do the same in November with a game in Torreon. I sure hope so. Andres, the AA Sports, leave your opinions on the scheduled game versus Ecuador in Guadalajara in the comments below. That will be all for this video. Leave a like and subscribe to support this sports passion project. Subscribe and feel free to check out my other Mexico National Team videos on my channel, and stay tuned in for more content covering La Selección de México. Thanks for watching and listening. Viva Mexico!